Hey, yes, it's so good to be here. I'm actually at a friend's house at a little Super Bowl party, but had I wanted to step away because I knew this was coming up and wanted to make sure that I jump on with y'all. Just because what I really want to share today is something that I had to really work through. It was a little process regarding the app and using the meal plans, and I said, to myself, if it's this challenging for me to figure out for myself, then I need to figure it out in a more simple way so that I can share it with those that are really trying to use the app. Because, and I don't know, how many of you have checked out the app in its entirety outside from the workouts and, that aspect. But they've got some really good information, and all of the meal plans and the recipe books on there are really useful. So today, what I really wanted to do is just kind of break down what I found to be helpful when it comes to breaking those down and setting those goals too. So just starting off, I'm going to put a link in the chat here. And when it comes to setting your goals, especially when it comes to like body weight goals, I think it's important not to necessarily go off of like ideal body weight, but you want to look at your target body weight. And a lot of that is driven by your body fat percentage. So, for example, if you want to decrease your body fat percentage, increase your muscle mass, um, figuring out what your current body fat percentage is, and there's a few ways to do that. There are fat loss monitors. I think Latoya and Alba scale might measure body fat, but you can also do tape measurements, and that'll give you a really good sense of how to measure your body fat. But let's say my body fat is at 30% at this point, and I want to get it down to 25. Using that link, there's actually a target body weight calculator that you can use, and you can figure out what your goal weight should be so that you're at that body fat percentage that you want to be at. So that's the first step in figuring out those kind of goals, because once you figure out, okay, like I don't need to lose 50 pounds to be at ideal body weight, but if I lose maybe about 15 to 20 pounds, I can be closer to my target weight or at my target weight. Then, that kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off, right? 15 to 20 is way more doable, way more reasonable than, 30, 40, 50. So, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, I found it helpful. Also, for those that don't have a lot of weight to lose, it's a good idea to get a sense of where your body fat is, because it could be that you're already at your target weight. You just need to maintain so that you can maintain your muscle or lean mass, and that you can maintain your strength. So I think in essence, all of those are super important. So figuring out your target body weight is the first step. And then when we're looking at the meal plans, and my apologies, I can't really share my screen at this point. But when you get a chance, check out that section in the app. And for this month particularly, there are two different meal plans available, and each meal plan has 3 weeks attached to it. So there's the weight loss meal plan and the increased muscle mass or increased muscle meal plan. Both of those are helpful, but of course, figuring out which one you want to focus on or try to use is the key. So, I would say that if you have more than 5% body fat to lose, meaning, for example, if you're at 30% and you're trying to get down to 25, 24, 23, that would be the weight loss meal plan would be the one you want to try to use. And since I've been in the challenge, I feel like most meal plans are broken up. There's 2 meal plans typically every month that are either weight loss and or increasing muscle mass. But if you're right at your maybe 10 to 15 pound weight loss goal, like you're within that range to where you don't have a whole lot of weight to lose, then the increasing muscle mass is probably going to be the one you want to gravitate toward. And the reason being is because as we increase our muscle mass, our bodies are going to burn more calories just naturally, because muscle burns more calories. Muscle burns about 14 calories per pound, and fat burns less than 2. So when we talk about metabolically active or increasing your metabolism, the muscle is what drives that. So again, if you're stuck in that plateau, Yes, muscle burns more calories than fat. Absolutely. So if you're stuck in that plateau, um, increasing your muscle mass will help you to get beyond that plateau because again, that more gaining more muscle is going to increase metabolism in that way. So again, if you've got more than about 5% body fat to lose, you want to gravitate toward that weight loss meal plan. And if you have less than 10 pounds that you need to lose, you're going to gravitate toward that increasing muscle mass meal plan. They also have some plant-based recipe book, and then I think they have like a supplemental recipe book. The plant-based one, if you're curious about plant-based recipes, especially if you're trying to find some plant-based recipes that are high in protein, they've got some really good ones in there. Mostly the breakfast ones I found to be really good. So again, taking a look through there. Also, the breakfast ones in the plant-based recipe book are probably the easiest ones to substitute if you're looking to substitute a plant-based recipe for one that's in either of the other two meal plans. So the next thing is figuring out like how many calories you need, because again, when it comes to weight loss, creating that calorie deficit is what's going to drive weight loss. When we're eating fewer calories than what we're using throughout the day, that's what drives our weight loss because theoretically it takes about 3,500 calories to burn a pound or to gain a pound. So if we're decreasing the amount of calories that we're taking in by 500, or if we're decreasing by 250 and increasing our activity by 250, theoretically again, throughout the week, 7 days, that should equal about 3,500 calories, which should equal about a pound. So when we're looking at that weight loss meal plan, for example, and I did the math, and it comes out to be about 15 to 1,600 calories and about 102 grams of protein, which is really good for most people. But if you are, maybe a little bit shorter or maybe a little bit taller than most people, under 5'4", or, maybe over 5'8", 5'9", then that may change. So you might have to adjust a little bit on the meal plan and how that plays out for you. But again, for most people, again, it's about 15 to 1,600 calories, 100 grams of protein. It's perfect for driving that weight loss goal. And then the increasing muscle mass meal plan, what it does is it pretty much has very similar recipes. All they do is just add an extra shake in there to increase the amount of protein and calories. So it gets it up to about 18 to 1,900 calories with about 140 to 150 grams of protein. So that protein, again, is what's going to make the difference in gaining muscle mass. And Latoya and I talk about this all the time, especially with the rebuild and the protein shakes that are available too. Getting that protein in is super important. It will make the difference for you. So again, that weight loss meal plan is going to be about 1,500 to 1,600 calories with about 100 grams of protein. And the increasing muscle mass meal plan is going to be about 1,800 to 1,900 with about 140 to 150 grams of protein. So figuring out, and there are plenty of apps out here where you can figure out how many calories you need. MyFitnessPal is a good one where you can actually put your height and weight in there if anybody's used it, and it'll create a calorie goal for you. And the free version will actually break down your macros for you, so you can figure out like how much protein, carbs, and fat you need as well. So all useful tools. Like I said, the WeDoTransformations app is, I'm learning it day by day, and it goes way beyond the meal plans. When it comes to making changes to the meal plans, what I would recommend doing is if you have the ability to stick to the meal plan 100%, and they do a good job of laying out like a grocery list for you if you follow it to the T, to the letter, which is super helpful too. So if you follow it to the T for maybe, the first couple weeks, and then once you get in the hang of it, or even like through this challenge, if you follow it for all 3 weeks, and then if you enter another challenge, then maybe you can, veer off and plug in some of the other recipes and substitute for, the ones that are actually on the plan. That's really how we get started when it comes to meal plans. And the main point I want to make, if you're thinking about following any meal plan, is make sure you read it and digest it. Pun completely intended, right? Because you know what we gravitate toward doing is, we'll get a meal plan in front of us, and then we'll say, "Oh, we're going to follow it," and then the day before the meal plan is supposed to start, we're looking at it and we're like, "Okay, how am I going to pull this off?" Or what happens if I have something unexpected come up, and I can't eat at home, or I've got a birthday coming up, or a celebration, or I'm going out to dinner, like how's that going to work with the meals? And so that's why it's super important to sit down with the meal plan from the jump, like before you started. I always tell people that I work with, we're going to plan a meal plan, but we're going to take a look at it a week before we're going to start. Like, you're not starting this meal plan within 3 to 5 days, because I want you to look at it. I want you to make sure nothing's happening. I want you to make sure that it's actually doable. And I think those are probably the most important things when it comes to meal plans, is looking at it ahead of time, making sure you're going to eat everything on it, making sure nothing's going to impact how you work it that particular week, and making sure that it's going to meet your goals, right? Especially when it comes to the calories and the protein. And so again, when it comes to figuring out the calories, that's super important. If, for example, you have a meal plan where you need to add calories to it, I would suggest starting with snacks, because snacks tend to be anywhere from 250 to 300 calories. So it's easy to plug an extra snack in, instead of trying to adjust the portions to your meals. And then when it comes to adding more protein, so let's say you want to stick with the weight loss meal plan, but then you want to add some additional protein to increase the amount of protein. The easiest way is just to add a protein shake to the day. But there are also ways where you can increase the amount of protein in that meal, like especially if it's a meal that's got chicken or fish, or like a whole meat source. You can always increase from 4 or 5 ounces to about 6 or 7, and that'll increase the protein without adding a ton more calories too. So again, those are just my observations and recommendations when it comes to following the meal plans, but definitely recommend you checking them out. And again, if it's not this month, if you do the challenge for next month, you've got a head start, and this meeting is being recorded, so you can go back and play this, and take notes and figure out what you need to do when it comes to following the meal plans. And they're all downloadable in the app too, so you can save them, rotate them, check out the recipe books. But again, meal plan 101. So if anybody has any questions, I'm open to them. Thank y'all so much for the time.
All
4%.
right, give it up.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. So, who has any questions? What are some things that you heard that stood out to you? What are some things that you guys have on your mind when it comes to meal? Go ahead, Kara.
So okay, nowadays meat is very expensive, right? So if I had to choose like a meat to like be consistent in, which one would it be? Because if I go off the meal plan trying to buy like all the different meats and stuff, it gets expensive after a while. So is there any particular like, could I do like chicken the whole entire time, or salmon, or would it be better to have variety?
That's a really good question. When it comes to like animal meats, it's recommended that we get like fish in our diet at least 3 times a week. And that's just because there are a lot less saturated fats in fish than there are in like chicken, turkey, beef, and pork. So if you like fish, if you like salmon, I would number one go with that. But if you're not really big on fish, or you don't want to have it more often than not, then the next best bet is chicken. Chicken is running relatively inexpensive these days compared to like beef and pork. It is a little bit cheaper, and it has probably about the same amount of protein per ounce that beef and pork do. So, and it's easy to match the flavors. So you don't necessarily have to change the recipe all that much aside from changing, if it's beef, changing it to chicken. So my two are salmon or fish and chicken. Those would be great things to be consistent with.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I have a question. Okay, so earlier I had a client and she was trying to do under 1,000 calories. Can you please explain the importance of the amount of calories and why it's important to keep with a certain number?
Yeah, that's a great question too. I've seen that a lot, especially I don't know if it's with women. We do, depending on your body composition, need fewer calories. But once you go beyond or below 1,200 calories, that's considered a very low calorie diet. And because of the fact that you can't meet your protein goal with anything below 1,200 calories. And remember that protein is what's key for muscle building. Also, there are vitamins and minerals in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, the carbohydrates that fuel energy. Like, there's no way that you can meet those needs in order to be able to fuel your body without eating at least 1,200 calories. Now, if you're shorter, for example, like I said, the 5'4" and under club. 1,200 might be appropriate for you, but even if you're that short or that small, eating under 1,200 calories, there's no way you're going to meet any of those nutrient goals or nutrient requirements, really, in order to be able to function on a regular basis with that few calories. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
That was fire. That was so fire. I love it. The way you just say things, I'm just like,
it's facts. Our bodies want what they want, we got to give it to them.
Yeah. And it's just it's so powerful. I'm just so thankful that Jessica's on right now with us because I think a variety of coaches is important because way we say one thing, you may not hear it in a way that makes sense. But if someone else shares it in a different way, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Even if it was the same thing, it's just said differently. So even it's just being me hearing it, okay, I just know, but sometimes I don't know exactly why. I just know,
Well,
understanding the why is important.
Yes, and it works both ways for me too because like I'm mostly textbook a lot of the time. I mean, I've been doing this a while, so but like initially I come from, that place where I learned what I learned from books and, research and things like that. So sometimes I have to think about how to say it in a way that makes sense. And, every time y'all say anything, it's on point and I get it, but I hear you say it in a way where everybody gets it. And so like I take that and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I could say it that way too. You know what I mean? Like you say all the time that we need to eat, and that's why. But we do need to eat. But at the same time, like the fact that you just say we need to eat, like it's true. It's the truth.
Super powerful. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Everybody, this is your opportunity to anything that you've had on your mind, like any confusion about when it comes to eating, any questions about certain foods or anything that Jessica shared, please, this is your moment.
Yeah, I think Kia put in the chat that she had a nutritionist or coach tell her to get 160 maybe grams of protein a day, but she could never eat that much. Yeah, that is a lot. And without knowing you, I'm not sure if that's an accurate number, but it could be, and it is a lot. Yeah, I mean, and this is where, quite honestly, your protein sources come into play. It's super hard to get that if you're trying to be plant-based because a lot of even high protein plant sources like chickpeas or beans, even like tofu, it's hard to eat that much volume. So when people need this much protein, you're definitely doing at least 2 protein shakes a day. But depending on your goals, it may not be necessary to have quite that much protein. I mean, you could be in the range of 120 to 140, and then add some BCAAs, and that could get you the results that you wanted to. But again, without knowing you,
Yeah.
and your measurements, like that, like 160, if you couldn't meet that, you could come close, and probably still be on track with your goals.
I was usually able to get 130-ish.
Yeah.
I am 5'6", 195, and I work out every day. There's some points in my life where I was going 9 times a week. So I think he was leaning into that to change the fat into muscle. I needed to add that much protein, but I just could not get there, even with the 2 shakes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I would say that at that point, the focus would be on creating the exercise, not necessarily like volume or time wise, but creating the workouts that promote burning fat. Because that way you don't necessarily have to lean so much into meeting that protein goal, but your body is still utilizing fat, and you're priming it to use fat for energy, versus trying to build more muscle. Because it could be, I mean, without knowing your body fat, like you could have enough lean mass in order to be able to get to where you want to be. So, you don't necessarily need the protein to build more mass.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But again, yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
So thank you so much for that, because everybody's body's different here. I know we have someone that is 5 feet. We have someone that's 6 feet. We have someone that's 124 pounds. We have someone that's 200 pounds. So, so there's certain numbers to help you. So if you're wanting to sustain your muscle, it's your body weight times 0.8 will give you an estimate of how much protein, grams of protein you need to eat. That's an estimate. So 0.8 times, your weight, whatever that is, that's how much protein. And then so when you break it down, right, because our protein drinks are 24 grams of protein. Your Formula 1 and your protein drink mix together is 24 grams of protein. So say that's your goal, to reach that amount of protein. You could even have 3 shakes a day, but then the other 3 meals that you're going to have need to be at least 25 grams of protein. And that's like a good 8-ounce chicken, right? About 8 ounces.
Probably about more like 5, 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's 7 grams per ounce.
I'd be throwing some chicken.
Getting all the protein, right?
Yeah. So, so just, I'm going to share that with you guys one more time again, so you guys can because this, if you're new to this, it's gonna, some of the stuff is gonna go like, oh my God, what did she just say? Or what was that? But it's gonna stick. And the more that you keep showing up to these nutrition chats, the more you keep conversating, having these types of conversations, because we don't have this type of conversation every single day with our friends and family. We don't have these type of conversations. So allow yourself to be new, or allow yourself to be teachable, coachable. You hear different things from different people, right? But there's certain specific facts that are there, and you just really need to be able to be consistent, because that's usually where it messes up. You don't know until you are consistently doing that. So right now, if it's your first 21-day challenge, you're practicing. You're practicing. Do I even like fish? Do I even want to go there? Or do I even like chicken? Like you're practicing. Like, what is it? Like, I don't even know how to cook chicken good. So now you're learning new things. Yes, thank you so much. And if you're trying to build more muscle, like me and Alba, our protein is the weight that we are. Like if you weigh 140 grams, if you weigh 140 pounds, the goal is to eat 140 grams of protein. Okay. So, but it is important to eat the protein, and to also, that's why shakes are really important, because it gives you that protein necessary for your body to sustain the muscle. Because you guys all want to lose weight, but you want to look toned and fit. You don't want to look, you want to look toned, you want to look good, you want to get curves. And that's why it's important to eat. But that's why we're learning right now. It's like what to eat and how much to eat. And you said you wanted to say something? Yeah. Okay. Pass it over to Alba.
I have another question. Okay, so yes, protein, right? But why is it important to make sure that we have some carbs, healthy carbs, and some like also vegetables and fruits on our plate? Yeah, so why is that important?
Absolutely. Good question. And just to note, I'm going to answer that question, and then Kia, I'm going to address your numbers here too. But carbs, so our bodies, when we're moving around, whether it be just walking, day-to-day activity, but more importantly, when we're working out, our bodies use carbs as its like quick source of fuel. So if I'm sprinting across the room, doing a workout, all of that is primarily fueled by carbs in the form of glycogen that's stored in our muscles. And so when we've only got so much glycogen stored, and our bodies break it down during the workout throughout the day. And when that's depleted, we don't really have another source of carbs other than the ones we eat. So, when people go on the low carb diets, keto and all that used to be really popular. You're limiting the amount of carbs that are in your system, and that's why a lot of people they say they've experienced like what's called keto flu, where they feel really tired and kind of dragging, and that's because there's a low source, a low amount of carbohydrates in the body that the body can store as glycogen to fuel all of that activity. And the reason being is because carbs are a relatively small molecule, so our body kind of takes it and can break it down real quickly. Protein and fat are a little bit more dense and heavy when it comes to their molecular structure. So it takes some work to break down protein, which you don't want because that protein is coming from muscle. And then it takes even more work to break down fat because it's super big. And your body, unless you train it, won't do that automatically. That's why, like, when it comes to like the low intensity workouts, when they're long enough, your body will say, okay, we got to switch over and break down some fat to make sure we keep going. And that's really the best way. Or when you're building muscle, your body will break down some fat in order to be able to do the work to put those building blocks together, if you will. So again, carbs are super important because it's the quickest way for our bodies to get some energy, to fuel workouts, to fuel our day. And again, it's easy for our bodies to break that down. So yes, did that answer your question? Perfect. Yes, so eat your carbs, please. Yes. And then back to Kia. I think what might be more helpful for you is if you go to that link that I put in the chat where you're calculating your target weight and then taking that number and multiplying it by 1. Because again, without knowing your body fat, I would venture to say, because that still sounds really high, I would venture to say that depending on your body fat composition, you might be taking into account body fat that doesn't need to be taken into account.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
So it's there again, because I got on late and it's not showing up.
Okay, let me see if I can paste it again.
But yeah, that makes
it. Yes, yeah. So,
and I used to do the scan. I used to have I'm new to the island. I used to have somewhere I could go and do those scans, and that was helpful to to have those statistics as well.
For sure. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, I grabbed it. Put it in there.
Did the person that mentioned that they were new to the island, are you military or not military?
I am a federal civilian. My husband's DoD civilian, so he got a job here, Pearl Harbor. That's how we got here.
Okay, gotcha. I was just curious. I know they provide scans at the Army Wellness Center.
They let him go, but they won't let dependents go. So as a DoD civilian, he can go, but I can't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Jessica, I don't know if anyone was talking. I hate to just pop in, but I was going to say, just talking about the importance of fiber and protein going hand in hand too.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. We know that fiber is important when it comes to digestion. And a lot of times when people increase their protein without increasing their fiber, they may find it more challenging, if you will, to digest that protein and to have it be what we call bioavailable, meaning like, your body can take it and use it for the purpose it's intended for. So when we experience things like, constipation, changes in our digestion, and we're increasing our protein, a lot of that is attributed to not getting enough fiber and not drinking enough water, because fiber and water go hand in hand. As you increase your fiber, definitely increase your water content too, or water intake. So definitely important. Fiber is important when it comes to the way our body absorbs those nutrients, and pretty much most nutrients, but it's very important when it comes to digesting protein and making it available in order to be able to build that muscle. Definitely. Answer your question.
Thank you so much.
What would you say is
You're very
the
welcome.
number to hit when it comes to amount of fiber that you need in a day?
So for men, it's probably about 30 to 35 grams per day. For women, it's about 25 to 30 grams per day. And start small. Like if you're not a fiber eater, don't go from 5 to 30 in one day. You will definitely feel it. I always tell people to start where you are and maybe increase by 5 every day until you get to your goal amount.
Sorry, I was looking for my little mute button. How much do you know how much average person does have when it comes to protein? Like average person?
Protein or fiber?
Fiber.
Most people don't get enough. I think the last time I read this, it was probably maybe about 10 to 15 grams of fiber was the average intake. And a lot of that has to do with, most Americans don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. And between those and again, your whole grains, that's where you're going to get the bulk of fiber. There's not a whole lot of fiber, if any, in meats and protein sources. Yeah. Yep. So unless you're supplementing with like a Metamucil or a fiber supplement, and really our bodies prefer from the food source. So it digests fiber from fruits, vegetables, whole grains a lot better than it does the powders and all that.
Yes. So thank you so much for that, because that's something that's super important that has helped when it comes to reaching our health goals. And as we're learning on what to eat, how much to eat, like where to get the fiber, things like that, our shake has a great amount of fiber in it, great amount of protein, all the minerals, nutrients that you need. So it kind of gets that like trying to figure it all out, like out of the way. So I know Malie, she has her baby girl, Junko, having the shakes, and like it's helping right now. It's helping right now because it's like, I don't know what to do. I just put these, the formula, the protein together and the water, shake it up, and then I know I got it. So I just want to show you guys really quick. This is one of the fibers that we have. It's original, and then also apple fiber. So you can add this to anything when it comes to like your water. I even like to add it to like cinnamon or cinnamon hot tea. And you could add it to your shake. Super, super good. And it's helped me out a lot because I used to have really bad digestive issues. And now I'm good. Thank you, Jesus. So, but the thing is, like she said, you got to be drinking the amount of water your body needs. And then who knows how to figure out like about how much water in ounces you need to drink daily. There's a formula.
I always thought it was like general 8 glasses of like 16 ounce or 4 16, 4 or 8. I don't know, if I didn't know there was a formula.
All right. Yep. Your weight divided by 2. That's how many ounces. So, but 8 cups of water, that's a good thing to shoot for. But a lot of people, if you think like yesterday, like, or even today, how much water have you drank? You know, water plays a super important role in your weight loss as well. All right. So what other questions we have? I want to share something right before we get off. But what other questions you guys have? Like, are you guys having any challenges anywhere, or any questions when it comes to your meal plan, or what to eat, when to eat? You good? Good, good. Okay. All right. So, one more time, give it up for Jessica. Everybody take yourself off mute. Thank Jessica. Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Thank
Jess.
you so much.
Thank you for
Very
your
Thank
important.
time.
you.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
y'all.
Thank you so much, Jess. You're the bomb, girl.
No, right?
Miss you.
We have a professional nutritionist on the team. Like, I'm like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I love it. Alrighty. And then okay, so when it comes to the app, so I know okay, so is this put in the chat, how many challenges have you done so far? Are you on your first one? Like how many challenges? Okay. So a lot of you on your first one. Okay. 3. First one. Okay. First one. Jessica, 5. Give it up. Lori, 7 to 8. Let's go. Woo. Okay, talk about consistency, right? About learning what is the app, right? And then when it comes to navigating and really understanding what's in the app, 10 means like I got it down. I know what's there. I know what's available for me. I seen it. And 1 means like I haven't even opened up the app. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you when it comes to the app and knowing what's available on there? All right, perfect. Okay, and so who on a scale of 1 to 10, who likes to cook? Who likes to cook on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, this is so good. Yeah, Bria, me and you right there. We need help. Okay, you guys like to cook. This is so good. Oh my goodness, this is so good because my wife loves to cook, and that is so good as well. All right, so check this out. So this is what she was talking about, right? Jessica was talking about. So let's go to like the plant-based ones. So I know not everybody's plant-based, but I know you guys have maybe a few friends that are needing help. So this is one of them, right? We have the weight loss, we have the weight gain, and then we have plant-based, and we have the recipes for some other foods as well. So we're gonna show you what's on here. The cool thing is it tells you details on what to get at the grocery store. So for the meal plan, it already sets you up for success. This is what she was sharing. So what to get while you're at the grocery store in order to have a successful meal plan for Monday through Sunday. And this is what you're going to have for breakfast. This is what you're going to have for lunch, snack, and then dinner. Okay. So these are a meal plan that you can set up, and it teaches you exactly how to make it. Okay. You guys like to cook. That's what you guys said. I saw it in there. This is all for you. Like, I encourage you all to go in there and then check out all of these recipes. Check out what is available in here. There's so many incredible, cool meals that you can make that you don't have to feel like it's boring or it's like bland, or, eating healthy can taste very, very good, and we just need to be willing. And Malie, what number were you when it comes to cooking? A 2? Oh man, someone needs to figure it out for us. So that's why the shakes are good, right? We got the shakes. But we got to figure it out. We got to learn. Sometimes we got to do things we don't want to do so we can get the results we want. All right, so here's some recipes for the breakfast. different things for breakfast. And then also when we come down here, Chef Kev, I met him on social media, but he is a professional chef for reals. And he has delicious foods, like his food. So even the quinoa dish for the vegans, people that are vegan and things like that. There's different dishes that he makes, and it's super cool. Has anybody put a one in the chat if you watched one of these?
What's up, We Do Transformation family? It's your boy Chef Kev again. And this week
Kia,
we're
good
going to do
job.
a vegetarian slash
All right.
cook. I'm gonna start putting some sauce in it. So I got me some hot sauce.
So you see that? It's only like less than a 10-minute video to watch. Okay. So those are the meal plans. And then these are all the recipes. And did you guys know that if you go to additional material, let's see, challengers PDF. So this right here, I highly recommend that you print it out. Super great information. Okay, a lot of the questions where you get it all different answers on social media and the internet, it'll break it down and make it really simple on here, okay? Who's printed this out? Put a 1 or put a 2 if you downloaded it. Downloaded it on your phone. Okay. I do highly recommend that you print it out because then you get to see it and then you also get to highlight some things. Okay, so taking your journey, your weight loss journey to the next level, okay? And then let's see. I thought it was on here, but and then did you ladies know that we also have a personal trainer that has created these gym workout routines? So, a personal trainer, they charge like $1,000 for these type of things. $1,000, right, Kara? For a workout plan. And it is right here for men and women on what to do at the gym. Okay, so we have those. And then I'm going to go back to the workout. So who's tried these ones right here? Put a 1 in the chat. If you guys are in this, because I've seen a lot of you guys screenshotting this and posting it. So proud of you. Okay. Junko, you can do this every day. It's only 20 minutes. Okay, on the days of no fit camps. Okay, you can just watch this together with your, either by yourself or with your family. It's super fun. Different beginners, intermediate or advanced, and then additional workouts. Have you guys, who's done one of these? Who's done the salsa one? Put a 1 if you've done the dance one. How about the cardio workout one? Have you guys done this one? No? Okay. All right, Jessica, you have. All right, cool. Okay, so I just encourage you to try them, okay? To try them. But right now, I know a lot of you are consistent with this. Put a 10 in the chat if you've been like pretty consistent with this one. I love it. I love it. So tomorrow I want to see that screenshot. Put it in the accountability chat, because we're doing it. We're doing it together. We're doing this one right now. I see a lot of you guys doing it together. And it's very powerful. It's very powerful because it gets results. Okay. So I wanted to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, that really quick. And even when I couldn't work out, when I couldn't run and sweat, sometimes you think like the only way I can lose weight is if I'm sweating or if I'm doing crazy amount of cardio, right? And that is that true? No. What is true?
I thought it was technique is one. No.
No, I'm sorry. It's not
Consistency,
the answer I'm looking for. That's still good. It's still a right answer. It's still yes, it's part of the getting results. But what's the most important thing?
Oh, nutrition.
There you go. Yeah. Because yeah, it is, you're right. Technique is super important on your make sure you're doing it right? Make sure you're doing the workout correctly. But the most important thing is getting the nutrition inside your body. And that's what makes those 2 shakes help you to lose weight. Okay, the Formula 1 and the protein, there's nothing out there. If you Google #1 meal replacement in the world, it will bring up your Herbalife shake. Okay, because there's a lot of protein out there. There's a lot of different things out there, but the quality, the amount of everything when it comes to the nutrients, the vitamins, the protein is all in one for you, specifically for your body. And when you have 2, you get incredible results, right? Who's seen results so far? Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen results. Put it and put in the chat. This is the last thing. Put in the chat, what are your results? What are your results? Is it weight loss? How much weight loss? Is it pant size? How many pant sizes did you go down? Is it energy? Like, what is it? Like, what are your results? Junko lost 10 pounds already? Let's go. Hey, this is for this is for public speaking purposes as you're gonna get older as an adult, right? Junko, share your name and where you're from, how old you are, and what your results are so far, please.
Okay, my name is Junko and I'm from Kahuku and
How old are you?
I'm 12.
Yeah, and what are your results so far?
I lost 10 pounds.
Yeah. Woo! All right, everybody take yourself off mute and let's cheer her on, please.
Congratulations.
Yay!
That's
Congratulations.
awesome.
You.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, and then Liz, please share with us.
I've lost 9 pounds. I used to be really bloated. I used to overeat. So one of the biggest things we had just talked about it when Jessica mentioned it was I would starve myself and then I would get really, really hungry and everything that I was eating was not even like giving me what I needed. So my nutrition was just all over the place. It was either all or it was nothing. And so the bloating is like I really don't feel bloated anymore. And it's because I'm not eating empty calories, and it just feels so much better.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. Have you guys seen her before and after picture? Super incredible. It's super great. If you could post it in the accountability chat, Liz. Yeah, do it, girl. So I'm so proud of you. Who else has results? And this is Esther, right? Esther's just been in it for what, less than 7 days? Esther, can you please share with us your results? Public speaking practices. Esther,
Yes.
what are your results so far?
Well, so far I've lost 3 pounds.
What? Yes. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I have more energy and I don't feel bloated and I don't crave unhealthy foods and stuff like that.
Heck yeah. I'm so proud of you. Let's go. And that's just in 7 days, So keep going. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm gonna share one more last thing. Just to, get some inspiration on, we've already made it 7 days. Tomorrow's the 7th day. So to just finish this strong and we're doing it together. That's why I'm so proud of you guys that you're on right now, because we get to do it together. Okay, so these are my results. Yep. That's your coach. I'll be doing it with you. All right. And then this is Coach Dennis. This is in 3 months. Coach Dennis here in Hawaii. All right. Our goal is to change how many lives?
1 million.
1 million.
1 million.
A million. And we can't do it alone. So if you want to be a coach, let's go. And if not, let's bring more people, just be an ambassador and invite people to do the challenge with you. Check out Michaela's results. This is in 3 months. Okay, 3 months. She wasn't the healthiest eater.
December, January, 2 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think this one was 2 months. I put November, but I think it was December.
Oh.
And so she also used the Prolessa. Okay. So I know a couple of you guys got the Prolessa, right? Super excited to see your results. And then look at our girl Liz. Yeah. She made it to the template with her results. Let's go. And that's results in 21 days. All right, so let's do this. We're doing it together. Last couple of minutes. Does anybody have any other questions, concerns? Do you want to share a win? What are you excited about? I feel like Majine wants to share. Oh, she said no. Okay, give me a little heart then. Give me a little heart. Yeah.
What I want to share is physically, I'm fine. Better now because I was exhausted and tired. And I am glad that I'm back with the challenge. Throughout the first week, I think I lost from what I've gained when I stopped working out. I lost probably 3 pounds. And my belly was changing to become how it was, and it's shrinking. I'm not bloating anymore, and it's good. I feels good. It's getting a little flat. So
Yeah. Awesome. So I'm so proud of you guys. We love you. Let's take our picture. Oh yeah, one last share and then we'll take our picture. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that I believe the people who are champions are the ones that stick around and work through whatever crap is going through their head about why they cannot or why it's so hard or why it's difficult, because that's where the layout really is, right? Our actions will take us really far, but they'll take us even further when we can actually believe the work that we're doing is not just deserving, but it's actually self-love. So that's why next Sunday we're gonna talk about. I love to do the mindset part, how nutrition is self-love, how taking care of your body is self-love. It's a reflection. What you look like, people, I know that I can see people that really love themselves, the people that I'm not saying look sexy and are curvy and are muscular. I'm saying I could see the glow in their face, the energy that they have. Then when they step into the room, they feel good. They speak well because they feel good inside, right? And that's what we're going to talk about next week. And I'm just excited. Jessica always blows it out of the water, guys. She's a very powerful woman. Like, she's a person that when I'm around, I like want to be stuck to her like glue, because she's just that positive. And I'm like, yes, girl, rub elbows with me. And so you all saw, a lot of y'all are like that, okay? But I don't get to really love on you. So I really just want you to know how proud I am of you next week, because it's Valentine's Day weekend. Bring some friends, bring some girlfriends. You know, if a guy wants to jump on, cool. But bring people that you know that are like, hey sis, let's just jump on this call. Let's just see what they say about self-love and it being Valentine's Day weekend, because I know that Valentine's Day can bring a lot of emotional stress. Especially as women, we have this expectation of how people or partners should treat us, or, oh, we don't have a date, or like I have a date, okay, but like we don't have somebody that's going to love us, or we don't have that or this. Baby, don't worry about it. If you don't have that someone that you call special, this is the time to love yourself. I mean, seriously, set it up for success. Take an hour, go do what you want to do, show yourself some self-love, get that freaking chocolate bar, go sit in the park, take yourself out to a nice dinner, get dressed up. If I catch you on Valentine's Day, well, if you want to in your pajamas, okay, but that's by choice, but not because you're like so sad and oh, poor me. Okay, but do it, get dressed up, put some makeup on, do your hair, smell good, go out, because you know what? that might be the day. The perfect one is waiting for you, right? But if you don't show up, you'll never know. Okay, get dressed up. And if anybody asks you if you don't have a partner, just be like, baby, I did it for me. That's it. I love me. This is what I'm doing for me. Okay, this is how I love myself. And if you have a partner, ladies, don't forget that they also need love too. Don't just sit there in expectation that oh, everything's me, right? Do something nice. And I'm telling you, the feeling of gratitude is so fulfilling. If your partner is not fulfilling that part, okay, this is not nutrition, but this is mental, okay? If your partner, then just show up for yourself or show up for them. Okay, I'm telling you, don't let this be a game about that nobody's fulfilling my needs. Like I don't feel loved. Love yourself. Find the girlfriend if that partner's not doing it and be like, hey, you're not doing it for me. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to start no fight. Okay, but I love you guys. No, I'm not talking about girl. I'm talking about like a friend, okay? I'm talking about like a friend, like a girlfriend. Okay. But I love you guys, and I'm super excited to see what you guys do on Valentine's Day, how y'all just love on yourselves and love on your partners and just show up to make a difference in this world by just loving yourself. So I'll see y'all next Sunday. Again, thank you, Jessica. You're super powerful.
Yes, and Shape Up Hawaii. It's going to be our Black History Month celebration. February 22nd. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be able to recognize all of you that are there in person. And if not, we're going to recognize you the next day online at 4 p.m. Hawaii time. And then you know what time it is your time to celebrate together, okay? So God bless you guys. We'll see you Sunday. We're going to take a nice, beautiful picture. Lovely. So it's all about self-love.
I can hear I'm chasing after my 1-year-old guy.
All right. 1. Keisha, Sonia. Let's see. 1, 2. Cheese. God bless you. You guys can still join if you haven't joined the challenge. Let's go. Get in the accountability chat. See you there. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Great job. Great job. Love you guys. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica. Thanks, guys. Mwah.